Welcome to my video where I share my Instagram routine as a writer. My name is Helen Redfern and I write blog posts and essays, and I'm currently writing a non-fiction book proposal and a novel. I've done some previous videos about Instagram and writing, how to use Instagram for writers, Instagram stories for writers, how I grew on Instagram, and how Instagram helped uncover my writing voice. I'll link all of those in the description box below. I spend a lot of time on Instagram. I see it as my primary way of connecting with my audience on a daily basis. I share stories throughout the day of my writing life and try to post on my main feed once a day. I take regular photos and create films to upload to Instagram. On my stories, I like to annotate my pictures, share time lapses and videos, and I also talk to camera and add captions and do the occasional boomerang. I find it fun. I like to chat and to share and to connect, and I love the creative side to it. Writing is a solitary business, and I like to reach out and connect with other human beings. I also enjoy chatting about my process. It gives me some clarity, it enables me to see patterns and understand more about how I work. It also enables me to grow an audience, which is obviously useful when submitting to agents and publishers. But, and I have to stress this is not my priority. If it was, I'd lose the enjoyment, and sharing just for the connection would be lost. I think you have to enjoy it in order to grow. What do I share on Instagram? I know lots of writers and creatives are unsure what to share, particularly on Instagram stories. And it's when I created more of a focus with my Instagram that I began to enjoy it more and gain more use from it. I share my writing day. I'm often just sitting at my desk, writing in a notebook or tapping away on a laptop. Your own working day might seem boring to you, but don't underestimate how inspiring this can be to somebody else, especially if you condense all of that into a 90-second IGTV video or a 15-second story, or a still photograph with an engaging caption. People are fascinated by other people's creative processes. I know I am. How long do I spend on Instagram each day? This can vary significantly. Some days I want to connect more than others. Some days I don't want to say anything at all, so I just come off the app. But at the opposite end, I can just enjoy it so much, I just go with it and share lots. I don't berate myself either way. Where do I spend my time on the app? Most of my time on the app is on Instagram stories. For example, I'll take a picture of me writing this script and I'll caption it and explain what I'm doing. In the morning, I like to share how I get started with the day ahead. So I show my task list and write out my tasks for the day. From a personal point of view, this helps me. Sort of like the opposite of, if you don't post a picture on Instagram, did it really happen? And it's more like, if I post it on Instagram, I make it happen. And then I share me carrying out that work throughout the day. Occasionally, I bookend the day with making the evening meal or walking the dogs, but on the whole I like to stick with my writing life. This stops Instagram taking over my life by giving me boundaries. In the past I've burnt out, so keeping it to certain aspects of my life is more beneficial to my mental health. Once a day I also post to my main grid. In the past few months I've neglected my main grid, and I think this affects how many people see me. So I'm making sure I post every day to my grid as well. I know I said it's not all about growth, but equally I don't want to be hidden from people either. Once I post to my main feed, I then keep checking back to reply to comments. Occasionally I will highlight my main grid picture onto my stories, but only if I have something to add. For example, on Sunday morning my stories were about tidying and rearranging my desk. Then I shared my grid photo, which was of the finished result, with a tap here sticker encouraging people to check through and see the result. How often do I post? At the moment I'm trying to post to my main grid every day, and on my stories I post throughout the day as I work. If I don't work, I don't post. Or if my work needs 100% focus as I'm up against a deadline, I also don't tend to post. It's just too much. I certainly don't put pressure on myself to post to stories. If it doesn't feel right, I don't do it. It has to come from a place of enjoyment. How structured is my time on Instagram? The short answer to this is it isn't, unless I've got something to highlight, like a video on YouTube or on rare occasions a sponsored Instagram post. I don't plan my pictures in advance. My main feed photographs are 99% taken on the day and show what I've been working on at my desk. I might rearrange a few notebooks, but other than that, it's all true to life. I keep my desk neat for Instagram, but it also helps me as it keeps my mind clear. I'm not a naturally tidy person. I work better in tidy, clear spaces, so if I know I'm going to photograph it throughout the day for Instagram, I will keep it tidy. So it helps me from a mental point of view. How do I decide what to show? I've been on the internet for over 13 years and I know what I'm comfortable sharing. A really personal journal page is not something I'd share, but my writing in rough form I'm happy to share. Thoughts about my writing or being online and my creative process, I write in my journal, and I share this as it may one day become a blog post, an essay, a newsletter, or part of my book, or it might not. It's messy, but that's the beauty of it. It's work in progress, a peek behind the scenes. What do I do to edit my photos? For my main feed, I use VSCO and a filter such as E8 for both my still photos and my IGTV or video clips. For my stories, I mainly use the filters in the app. Swipe left, and I like the Lagos muted effect. I also see that there are now additional filters if you take a photo within the Instagram Story app. And I've played with Moody Up and Boho filters. In terms of editing videos, I use the Splice app to edit my time lapses or to put a series of short clips together. I also use Unfold if I want to make my stories more professional, such as when I was launching my newsletter. How do you incorporate things like newsletters within your Instagram account? This answer will apply to my YouTube channel or to affiliate links or anything else I want to draw people's attention to, and not just my newsletter. Basically, I don't go overboard with mentioning it, and when I do, I try and fit a narrative around it. So it's not an Instagram story saying subscribe here or watch this video. I try and lead up to it, and then the final one will be swipe up here or go to my profile to click on the link. That being said, I don't always manage that, but as long as I do it about 80% of the time with a narrative, then I'm happy. So for example, my newsletter, before mention it, I'll bring it into my stories as something I'm working on. I might talk about content or the process of writing it or the technical side in a number of stories, then finish. Say if I've done a set of 3 stories, I'll put the final one saying if you'd like to subscribe, then swipe up here, or if you don't have the swipe up, you can just say click on the link in your profile. And it's the same with my YouTube videos. This morning I did some stories, unplanned, of my organisational planning process. I then decided to do an IGTV of some clips of me doing this and putting it all into action. Then I realised that I had last week's video that was linked to what I was doing that morning on Instagram stories. So the next story, I did a swipe up to that video and then I moved on. So there we go. That is how I tend to use Instagram on a daily basis as a writer. If you have any questions, do leave them in the box below or come over and find me on Instagram, and I am Helen Redfern Writer over there. If you would like to see more videos about how I use Instagram, do let me know. Do let me know any specific questions that you have, and I will make more videos about them in the future. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now. Bye.